Hello Power Rangers fans and welcome back to Toku Topics. Today I'm taking a look at the Jada Toys Nano Minifigs set of Power Rangers characters. So this is a really cool set of minifigures that has been out since like 2020. You used to be able to find it at a lot of like different Targets in the toy aisles or even like in the little collectible aisles back by the DVDs and such like that. But they're also available online on pretty much any major fan channel retailer, including Amazon, which is where I got my set as a Christmas gift. And I really like this set here just because of the selection of characters that you have that I can add to my different displays and such like that, because it's a pretty interesting lineup of characters here, as you can see, from across the Power Rangers franchise. There's no representation here from the Neo Saban era or the Hasbro era of Power Rangers. It's mainly just Saban era and the comics, but you do get a little bit of Disney era as well. Maybe not in the way that you might expect, because there's some pretty interesting character selections here. Lots of Mighty Morphin, of course, here, but some characters that don't usually get merchandise quite often, like Korag or Wolf Warrior, or even Phantom Ranger or Scorpina. This is a really cool set for that. Now, Jada Toys has done a couple of other Power Rangers related items, like these things right here. They did like the Nissan cars. They're still doing these actually. That came with like little metal figures and such like that, which is backwards, but kind of obviously not as small as the tiny little Nano metal figures, but still pretty good nonetheless. And this guy can kind of stand on his own over there. They also did these guys, which are a little bit more bigger kind of figures, so they're also kind of metal. These are pretty cool as well. I like to have them on display, but this is just such a neat set with such a cool character lineup here that I'm looking forward to taking a look at it here today. This set was supposed to be apparently followed up by a sequel set. There was a number of characters that were listed for this set that were shown off at Toy Fair 2020 when this was kind of first went up for pre-order and everything, that just never saw the light of day. Psycho Green, Psycho Silver, the Black Dragon from the MMPR comics, Premator Red / Green Ranger, Dark Spectre, a Z-Putty, possibly a Tyrannodrome, SPD Shadow, SPD Cat, Dino Thunder White, Emperor Grum, Zeo Yellow, Magnet Defender, Psycho Blue, Lost Galaxy Green. So this would have been a very interesting set of secondary characters if they had actually made a Wave 2 or a Set 2. The interior of the box includes this kind of cool smoky background, but obviously we're just going to kind of put that back there. We don't really need that. But here are the figures themselves, just sitting in the tray. So we're going to pop each of these out, and we're going to take a look at each of them here in some like bigger detail, kind of as best as we can, because they are pretty tiny, but they are still pretty cool for what they are with all the detail that they are able to capture. So here are the 20 figures out of the box here, lined up in little rows of 5. I really like these. I really do like them a lot. I will kind of zoom in the furthest that I can, and that is kind of sort of fitting all 20 of them in there, but like I said, they are very tiny. So we'll kind of compare it next to the Triassic Ranger there. So as you can see, they're just a little under 2 inches tall, give or take. So here he is. It's actually sculpted very nicely. It's kind of a metallic kind of red paint on it too, which I think looks pretty nice. Oop, there is the nice helmet mold there, which actually has a pretty good visor trim for how tiny of a figure it is. It's obviously not like the most detailed thing in the world. You kind of just get like white splotches for like the whole belt and blade blaster kind of thing, but there's an attempt. I mean, there's even some like lines kind of sculpted back there and everything for the little diamonds. So like they did a pretty good job with that. So here is Mighty Morphin Blue, which is going to be pretty similar. Most of the Mighty Morphins are going to be, all the bottom of these just have like a copyright theme of Jada Toys, that kind of thing. So very similar. All the Rangers kind of have like a white base compared to like the villains who kind of have a colored base based off of kind of their main primary color. Here's the Black Ranger, which they even have the little silver mastodon trunks and everything, and the little yellow dots on the eyes, which is very impressive to see. Love this. Once again, has even like the silver and the black on the helmets and the little tusks. And I really like how they have everybody kind of in a unique pose that really just speaks to them. You know, they went through that much effort to actually mold them all differently and everything, which is just really impressive. Of course, you have to have Tommy as the Green Ranger, which I kind of like the metallic green on here. I think that actually kind of looks pretty nice. And the Dragon Dagger is kind of just done up in a generic silver. And obviously some of the proportions on these look a little strange. Like a lot of their gloves are just kind of like blotches of paint that kind of just become like a whole blob, but still, you know, for how tiny they are and how cheap the set is, because it's like a $20 set, so you're basically paying like about $1 per figure here, give or take. It's not that bad. Here we have Tommy as the White Ranger with a little bit of extra black paint, or I think it's actually gold paint maybe? Yeah, that kind of got spread on there a little bit, so that's kind of a shame, but still really good detail with the shield there. You can actually make out the symbol. The helmet is painted beautifully. Saba's back there. It's just all gold, but, you know, he's there, so you gotta give him credit there. For our first villain figure, we have Rita. which actually is pretty good for how they're able to capture this. She has a little bit more weight to her because obviously she's just kind of a whole blob of metal, and that's just kind of how it's going to be. Have a little hole down there, probably just because of the molding of it, but the face is not like terrible for a little 2-inch figure, you know? Like, I gotta give him credit there. Could it be better? Of course it could be better, and of course she doesn't have any like the trim on her dress or anything like that, but you can't expect too much for these. You know, you can tell it's Rita, and that's what counts about these figures. Like, you can look at that and go, yeah, that's Rita, and they did a good job with that when you keep that in mind. I absolutely love whenever we get Boom Studios merchandise, so Lord Draken being included is something that I'm really happy about. So he has Saba there, he has the shield, the helmet maybe is missing a little bit, obviously don't have like red eyes or anything like that, and I feel like it's missing some black detailing, but you can still tell that it's Draken just from the gold and the green and everything. And I do believe you have a dragon dagger holstered there, which is a good touch. And interestingly enough, they molded his shield, like the symbols on both sides, which I don't think that's actually accurate at all. But actually, yeah, I'm pretty confident that's not accurate at all, but it's there. So that's kind of interesting, but for the most part, Draken does look pretty good. And since he's a villain, they kind of gave him the different colored stand that he's on. But I do like it. Here's Lord Zed, whose face is kind of getting melted. I don't know what's going on there. Very weird with the silver paint everything on mine. It's kind of gotten really sort of blotched together, but for the most part, you know, you got that red detailing, you got the silver detailing, you kind of get the muscle molding in there. It's Zed, I mean, you can't deny that, with the Z staff and everything, and the Z there, you can, like I said, you kind of see there's some paint that's kind of made like a little line there, so that's kind of strange, but it's still good. Like, I'm just going to say that about all these. I really have no problem with any of these, because you really can't judge them too harshly for what they are. Moving on to one of my favorite Power Rangers villains, we have Goldar. Really kind of hard to mess him up. He pretty much just has to be all gold, and he pretty much is. He's got his sword and everything. They did give him a little bit of red detailing there on his knees, and you got some nice blue face paint with actually they attempted the little red eyes too, so that's a really nice touch. And you get the kind of black hair that he has or whatever that's supposed to be, and the blue face and the white mouth. So like, for, you know what it is, Goldar turned out really good. This is actually one that does not have the wings. He has a little wing nubs, so that's that version of Goldar from like season, I think that's what, season 1, I think, or whatever, Goldar, that has it like that, so there is that. A villain I'm really happy to see in this line here is Scorpina, because she's just a character that does not get a lot of merchandise very often, so it's very cool to have her included, and she goes nicely with Goldar and Zed and Rita and everything, so once again, very good job. I can't tell if that's paint chip. I think that might be a paint chip. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. I think her entire leg's supposed to be yellow, but besides that, very good on the torso there. You get the kind of boomerang weapon that technically should be silver, but I think it looks perfectly fine. They did get the skin color on her arm and face and everything there. So, and it's basically the same kind of gold used as on Goldar, which, you know, that works perfectly fine. It's still just cool to have Scorpina in this set, since she's really not included most of the time with Mighty Morphin merchandise, so she definitely deserves to be here. It's the power of ninja, which is my terrible ninja expression because, you know, my voice is a little not great in this video because I'm still feeling a little sick. But here's Ninjor, which looks very good. Very happy to have him here. I know I just kind of keep saying the same things, but it's really true. I love the character selection that's here. I think it's a very interesting character selection, but it's a very good character selection, and Ninjor is no exception to that. I love getting Ninjor merch. Love the helmets, love the silver on the sword, and like they got the end painted there, they got the little lines there, they even got his little sheath back there, and they even painted the gold on the back of the shoulders, which is a really nice little detail, because a lot of times like the belts on these kind of stop midway, which is perfectly fine, but I really do like this detailing here. You kind of have a little bit of that lever, kind of, that would like flip down for him to become his warrior or samurai mode, but still, Ninjor is one of those characters that I feel like just does not get a lot of love in a lot of toy lines, so I'm really happy to see him here in this set. Moving on from the 13 Mighty Morphin representatives from this set, we have Zeo Gold, one of my all-time favorite Ranger designs, so very happy to have him here. And they did a great job of Zeo Gold. Like the helmet, really, really well done for how tiny it is with the kanji for King. Really good job. I love the gold paint on the shield, love the golden power staff, which is sculpted also very nicely with the interior of it, opened it up and everything. They got the gold paint on the back, the belt does continue all the way back for him, which obviously is just kind of extended from the shield. There should be like a little bit of black right there, but it still looked good enough to just kind of have it like that. And I think this is like a perfect one. This is probably one of the best ones in the set in terms of paint, just being applied and like just kind of capturing the whole detail of the suit, because like there's really like nothing missing detail wise from this guy. Obviously the golden power staff could be a little bit more detailed because it's not supposed to be just solid gold, but Yeah, that's good. This is a really good one here. You know, with 3 Tommies already in the set, you would expect them to probably have included Zeo Red, but instead we got Zeo Green, which I have no problem with. Adam is one of my all-time favorite Rangers as well, and I love the Zeo Green suit. It's probably one of my favorites of the Zeos. And here, they did a pretty good job with it, you know, for how tiny of a scale. There's no white trim there, or like chest detailing. He's kind of bearing kind of like a Ranger key almost. Kind of like how the Ranger keys did the chest detailing of the Zeo suits, but nonetheless, it's done very nicely. You like got the axes there, which obviously are just kind of solid green. They don't have any of the kind of gray, silverish paint that would be on there, and no belt detailing back there, but they did continue the white detailing back there. So yeah, Zeo Green turned out pretty good as our sole Adam representative. I guess technically, Mighty Morphin Black could be Adam as well. Another one of my favorite ones in this set is Phantom Ranger, because they just did another really good job with him, but he's also one to where there's really not a lot of detailing for you guys to mess up on this one, so it's perfectly good how it is. Love the silver detailing there, love just the inclusion of Phantom, one of my favorite Rangers of all time as well. He does have the Turbo Navigator, I think is what that's supposed to be, which is kind of something that a lot of extra merchandise for the Phantom Ranger has retconned into him using. He never used it in the show, but he uses it in the Legacy Wars video game. I believe he uses it in the comics. The Lightning Collection figure gave it to him, and now, of course, the Jada Toys figure did as well, even though this figure came out 3 years ago, before the Lightning Collection version or anything like that, but love Phantom being included here. So while green, silver, and blue were apparently supposed to be in the second set of this, Psycho Red is here in the first set, and obviously a very barren back on the Psycho Rangers, but not too bad with the paint on the front. You get this nice metallic red. Mine's a little messed up a little bit there in the chest, but you even have some nice like silver collars, which are supposed to be white, but I still think the silver kind of makes it pop a little bit better here on the tiny little figure. The helmet sculpt is not too bad for the Psycho Rangers. You know, it's obviously very not that detailed, but for a 2-inch figure, I mean, come on, this is perfectly acceptable. From my favorite season of Power Rangers, we have the Triassic Ranger from Power Rangers Dino Thunder. Really like that he's here. I love that they got the blue there on the sides. That's actually pretty good. Actually, maybe it's just on that one side, but that's a good detail. The helmet is pretty good. He's a very metallic red. That's for sure. It's probably not one of the best painted ones in the set, but still, I'm happy that he's here. I love the Triassic shield there, or the Shield of Triumph. Really nice detail on that. Kind of is blocking the Dino Thunder chest symbol, but I love Dino Thunder, and a lot of times when we get Dino Thunder merchandise, we like never get the Triassic Ranger of all characters, so really cool to see this as the pick that they went with. And then for the final 2 figures in the set, they are the exact same thing, just painted a different color, and that is Korag and Wolf Warrior. So we'll go ahead and start with Korag. Love that metallic purple. I mean, it's not really popping very well on the camera here, trying to kind of capture it in the light a little bit more, but oh, it's so good. I love it. I love it a lot. Love the gold detailing there. Got the helmet pretty nice, got his shield. The only detail I think is kind of missing, or kind of major detail, is sort of like the little eye on his shield. It's supposed to be kind of like a red color, but still, very good. On the back, it's painted nicely too, with the silver and that metallic purple. Really awesome. Korag like never gets anything, so I love that they decided to pick him here. One of my favorite characters from the Disney era, especially one of my favorite characters from Mystic Force. And then, ooh, as I'm kind of bumping into everybody here, Wolf Warrior is even more obscure than that, so I love that they actually decided to do that as well. I mean, it's super easy. You just have to take the exact same figure, paint it a different color. As you can see, they are the exact same thing, just one is purple and one is red, as they should be, so they are accurate. But Wolf Warrior is another one that is just not really included in merchandise too often, because he was only a ranger in like a couple of episodes of Mystic Force, like maybe 2 or 3 if that, so I love that he's here. And kind of rounds out the set here. Very interesting choices from Mystic Force, or really from the Disney era in general, but like no SPD in this set, even though apparently it was supposed to be at least 2 of them in the secondary set. Very interesting choice, but I love that they went with Mystic Force kind of over other stuff. Alright, and with that is going to do it for my review of the Jada Toys Nano Minifigure set of Power Rangers characters. Now they do these for a lot of other brands. I know there's like Marvel ones out there, DC ones out there, there's Transformers ones out there, and I really would have liked to see what the second set of Power Rangers ones would have fully had, besides the ones that we kind of saw at Toy Fair and kind of were listed off and everything. But you can still get this set pretty easily. It is still available on Amazon, and there will be an Amazon affiliate link in the description below for you guys to check this out as well, to help out the channel if you order it from there. Let me know down in the comments below, did you pick up this minifigure set for your collection, or any of the other Jada Toys stuff that they offer for Power Rangers? And what would you like to see them make for a set 2 or a set 3, or really anything else with the Power Rangers license, because hopefully there's still a chance, although it has been quite a long period of time. So until next time, you guys can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or LightningMinifigPR, and I'll see you all later.
To wrap up this video, I'd like to thank my $5 and above patrons: Jurassic Samurai, Maggot Alchemist, Robert Browning, Static Thunder, Brendan Overland, Magi Yellow, Redstone MCPC, Comics 1017, James DeHurley, Monster Rocket, John Luke, Eric Berry, and Tyler Bozetsky. You can support Toku Topics for as little as $1 a month on my Patreon, link in the description below.